send me what, and let us look in, I mean, again, I'm not sure what we would do here, not knowing any of the
Okay.
background information or.
She was just telling me all this
Sure.
stuff last night while I was at work, so.
Okay, no worry.
Okay.
Well, cause it's just waiting.
That's on the elk, right?
7:30.
She's in Murray Edition.
Yeah, she's in Murray Edition somewhere.
I know, I recognize the name, but
Got the swimming pool
okay. I'll,
on that upper loop.
yep, we'll get the profile
Yeah.
printed off again.
I mean, and if the profile shows that it's during irrigation use, I mean,
But it's like a couple way different numbers during
We'll-
that. Then
we'll
she
look
said she didn't change her timing or anything on stuff.
Okay.
have her send me the details, I mean,
Okay, I'll tell
I
her
said
to
that before.
contact you.
is it working?
Looks like it's gonna start.
Oh, we got 4 cameras and only
Yeah.
one camera, 4 views. Perfect.
Wow.
So, I wanna
Are we
test.
live?
I wanna.
Name. Are you guys are ready?
Sure.
Okay, we can go live.
Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. Consider approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Uh, I approve too, so that's been done. Consider approval of the minutes from August 27th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The claims. Consider approval of the claims. And give you a couple minutes to look them over if you haven't.
The drilling, is that done? No?
I'll give you an update on that.
Okay.
That's what I was hoping for.
That's the only question I was really wondering about since it's so large.
Yeah, that's a big bill, isn't it?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the claims have been approved. City Finance Officer's report. We don't have a finance officer, so are you gonna do it, Amy? No. Okay,
So I guess I can give you what I have on that, and that would be that we've been working with the mayor, and the mayor, we've got council has a special meeting on September 30th where the mayor will be presenting the budget. So we'll kind of have a look at the budget for the first time. So next month at our October meeting, and once the budget has been made public and given to the council, I'll forward a copy out to you as well. Without a doubt, there's some reductions in all the budgets across the board. I still feel that we're comfortable with the water budget, where we're at and what we need to operate for the year, but just keep in mind, like I said, that all of our citywide budgets, to include the enterprise funds, the budgets have been reduced, so. But once that's been made public after the meeting on the 30th, I'll send that out to you guys so you can take a look for it. And then if you have any comments, let us know. Council will be, they'll have a first reading on that at October 7th. So we got some, and then it'll go second reading on the 21st. So
21st of,
October, I believe, is the plan.
what's the first reading, is October 7th?
First reading is the 7th, October 7th.
And their special meeting is September 30th.
30th, yep, Monday
Okay.
night for a presentation of the budget. That'll be the first time the council sees it.
So just a question on the capital improvement projects that we had suggested. They're all pretty much on hold except for the new well, correct?
Correct. So we've
Okay.
got the well, and then we've got, we'll have the
Because we had that East Main and
avalanche. Yeah,
stuff like
those
that.
those have been right now been put on hold.
Okay.
And as part of the budget process, I'm assuming once we get the actual budget presented, then we'll start working on the capital improvement plan. And then some of that, when we talk about capital improvements, some of that is gonna, that IM 28 will have an effect on that sales tax initiative that's going to be on the ballot in November.
Mhm, and
Should
that's on the
that
food stuff.
pass,
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100% where your capital improvement money comes from, is
Yeah.
from that sales tax, so.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that you'll see that across the board. I mean, you've seen other municipalities who are in opposition of it because
Because of the grocery tax.
yeah, that's where all of your capital projects get funded through, is from that, so.
Okay. That's where we're at, right? Okay. Any customer concerns?
they don't have my phone number.
I actually had one, but Rick said the correct way that we have to.
Yeah, we
Go
don't have
for
any
that.
customer concerns for the MUB.
Okay.
We'll, Sean had one, and we'll route it through the department first to see if we can correct it or figure out what's going on prior to needing any MUB action.
Was it Sean complaining?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we come to Todd.
Was way shorter than
You need to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah, I managed to get down into it. Good morning. So kind of on the customer concerns and complaints deal, this month, we have had a lot of requests for what we call a profile. People who feel that their usage was higher than what they estimated. So we can go back most times and do a history of about 30 to 45 days, depending on the meter, and show them hour by hour when the water turns over. Most of the time when you show that, people can say, oh yeah, they figure this out or that out. Excuse me. And then there are times where people don't feel that what we have as data is correct. So, we'll go through that on a case-by-case basis. There was some anomalous high usage this last month too that just seemed weird. as we found out, it's a leak in the home. It's usually a toilet, a water softener that's stuck in bypass. And we do our due diligence, in my mind, to help them discern where the leak was. You know, we helped a fella yesterday who thought his usage was too high. And we didn't take the trap door off of his trailer house, but we did look under, and yeah, you could see the water dripping from a leak. So we may miss some things, but we do try very hard to accommodate when there is a complaint. So I'm curious to sort this one out. Beyond that, I guess I won't address well 8. I think Rick will probably cover that in better detail. 2 weeks ago, myself and Dave went to the South Dakota American Waterworks Association conference in Deadwood. I actually missed one day. I had my last 2 wisdom teeth pulled the day before and wasn't feeling real well the next day to go sit through classes. So, but I did make the second 2 days. It was very good seminars. There's some repetition, but you always learn something new at the seminars. Whether it's the classes that they present or the new inventions from the vendors that are there. I mean, Dave and I spent a fair amount of time talking to 2 other vendors about water meters and endpoints to source out things that work with our system for when there's shortages again, which if or when there will be shortages, so that we have other options to keep us rolling in the direction that we've intended to go. Other than that, I just want to give a hats off to Amy. Through the process of City Hall's shortages in staff, she's picked up extra duties, and yeah, it's going really well. She's picked up Cassell. It's nice having her in our building. As we learn new things, she teaches us, helps us learn new things, and she's learning really well above the curve. So,
Well, thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
that's all I got. Any questions?
I don't. I guess that takes us up to you, Rick.
Perfect, so I'll give you an update on the well. We did complete the drilling of the 17.5-inch hole and got the casing set. We cemented the casing in and then ran another wire down there and figured out we did end up with one void that was near the top, near the surface. So what we ended up doing there when we concrete or grout in that casing, it goes from the bottom and comes up and pushes the air and stuff out. Sometimes we'll get a void in there. So then when we come back and we end up then filling in those voids usually from the top. So we did that, and we've got the casing is all grouted in now. And actually, as of yesterday at 4 p.m., they had begun drilling into the Madison. That's a 12 1/4-inch pipe, so it's a little bit sized down, and that goes into the Madison. They were about 40 feet into the formation as of, like I said, 4 o'clock yesterday. So they're probably considerably deeper now because they drilled all night long. Once we get into the middle of that Madison formation, that'll kind of be the end of that, and then we'll be determining how much water we have and sizing our pump accordingly. When we had bid this project out, we had bid it with 2 different sized pumps depending on how much water we did have. The other thing that we did have from logging that hole which was a good sign, was the further down we got into that formation, we started turning into limestone, which is very conducive to being able to what we end up doing when we talk about fracking. They put acid down the hole, and that acid cleans out all the veins and stuff and allows for a higher amount of water to come in, because all your water's coming into that hole we drilled through the veins in the rocks. And so when we put acid in there, it cleans out those veins and allows that water to flow. So when we talk about fracking the well. That's what we're doing. And being that we were showing those signs of good limestone, that's what you want. That's the best scenario when the acid will work the best and kind of clear those veins out. So we're hopeful. Todd's got his fingers crossed as well as I that we end up with a good well that produces 500 or 600 gallons per minute. But time will tell. Probably, I would guess maybe by the end of the week even we'll kind of have a better idea of that. So everything as of right now is going pretty good on the well. We did have some challenges with some of those voids when we were drilling, but what they end up doing is they filled the hole that we're drilling with concrete. It sets up, and then we drill through the concrete, so we end up getting a real nice smooth hole. We had cameraed that, and when we originally done that, we were losing circulation. It was a lot of cobble and some big voids, and
From that upper void. up
yeah,
there, that would really be a hard thing to drill through.
we
so-
were able to get that sealed off. So surprisingly, again, when we cameraed it, you'll have to stop by and look at that sometime, Ron. It's
Yeah.
pretty. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, you could see the gypsum and everything that we drilled through.
Oh,
So
neat. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
I'm real
neat,
interested in geology.
pretty
and
neat
so, yeah,
neat deal.
it's
So.
pretty neat.
Yeah, so we should, looks like we've got everything, all of our big obstacles are out of the way now, and we'll be moving on to the production side of it. And then shortly here in a couple of months, we'll get started on the well house and some of that stuff, and then make connection to our system. So we're still on schedule for that to be completed sometime next spring, and that should be good. Another thing, when Todd was mentioning, some of our water loss, we're putting in our sewer line. That started. We did cross one of our water mains that goes into the city park there by where the old volleyball pit was. And interestingly enough, a couple of years ago, we had South Dakota Rural Water come out and do some line testing for us, and they had thought that we had a leak somewhere down there. They had kind of pinpointed it to that line, and when we were doing the installation of that sewer main, when we crossed that line, we did find a leak. So we were able to get that repaired. The contractor did that repair for us. We gave them the parts needed, so that was another good thing that hopefully, who knows how long, for at least a couple of years it's been leaking. We think that the South Dakota Rural Water, when they did that leak detection, come to find out they were spot on. So, it would have never ever surfaced there because we were so close to the creek. It was just going in and into the creek. So that was a good find, and we were able to get that fixed up. So that was a good thing. Other than that, like I said, here last month, we finalized out the phase 3 of the Davenport Ranch Edition. That's all completed. We did our initial plan review for the Hidden Hills, which is the development out at Avalanche, and I expect any time now we'll get the final plans resubmitted on that, and we can get that review done, and that project should be starting here shortly.
Is that you're calling Hidden Hills, the one, they're literally, the homes are on the hills back there?
No, the one that, it hasn't been started yet. We're still doing the plan review. It's the one that from the bridge kind of all the way around the phase 1 of, there's 2 different subdivisions there that depending on which side of the road you're on, it's a different subdivision, but it's all the same project. It's Valley View and, Valley View and Hidden Valley and Valley View and Hidden Hills.
These are all over on Avalanche.
Yeah, yep, Hidden Hills and Valley View are the 2
Both
subdivisions
sides of Avalanche,
of Avalanche Road on that bottom piece, yep.
the bottom.
Yep.
Is there a bridge down near the park that's getting redone too?
No.
Okay. So that must have been what you were talking about.
Yeah, that sewer
that
sewer
work down
project
there.
started down by the football field is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they,
that's
where
what
they
I was
tied
talking
in,
about. Yeah,
and
'cause
they're
I saw it
going
coming down there.
west, and as they, I believe once they cross Junction, then that sewer line from there on out will go live.
Okay.
That's kind of our tie-in point, but that's that new, I guess you could call it a
Main.
Yeah, it's a main, it's a large main, 15-inch, so, yep. So that's about all I have for updates on any projects.
Well, good, thanks, Rick. I guess there's no request for any public hearings, assume. Anyone have any old business? Any new business that we want to start tackle? Hearing none? I guess that brings us to other matters that may come before the board. Nothing from anyone? No request for executive session. I don't see any attorneys here, so I guess a motion to adjourn is in order and maybe set our next date for sure.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So we are adjourned. What, next meeting will be